Welcome, everyone, to Business on the Treasure Coast. My name is Bob Leone. I'm with Acquisition Experts. We sell businesses. Today, our guest is Reggie Sessions. He's one of the commissioners up in Fort Pierce. Reggie, thanks for coming on today.
Glad to be here. Nice to have you here.
So I can read a lot of great stuff about you. I've heard a lot of great stuff about you. I know that we've been at many events together and really didn't get to know each other. So why don't you tell my audience a little bit about you and your background?
Well, Bobby, I'm a native of Fort Pierce, born and raised right here in Fort Pierce, one of the first hospitals, Lawnwood, Pavilion as it was known back in the day on 7th Street. It wasn't on 25th Street, but my mother gave birth to me right there at Lawnwood on 7th Street, and I went on to graduate from Fort Pierce Central High School, class of 82, and
Wow.
going from there to Tampa Technical Institute in Tampa, and decided that I wanted to further my education, and I went off to one of the biggest HBCs, Florida A&M University, where I obtained my electrical engineering degree. And after working in the field of engineering, I wanted to fulfill my childhood fantasy, and that was I didn't want to be an engineer. I wanted to be a lawyer. And with my grandparents motivating me and pushing me, I was able to get in at Southern University Law Center, an institution that my pastor graduated from law school, and I followed his footsteps and went off to Southern and obtained my Juris Doctorate degree, and I ended up coming back where I started, and that was Fort Pierce. Said I would never come back here. Didn't want to come back, but my grandparents, their health was ailing them, and I knew that there was so much to offer, and I loved this place, but I just wanted to come back and try to make it a better place, because it was, even though it was green, that meant opportunity. And I had been to so many other places throughout the United States where that was so developed and had it going on, but my city had the potential, but it hadn't been developed, and I wanted to come back home and make it happen.
So, Reggie, how long have you been sitting on the commission?
I think I started this journey back in 1997. I probably have more tenure than anyone on the board right now. I was the youngest person at the age of 27 to ever get elected
Wow.
into public office in Fort Pierce. And I sat out 2 terms, but I've done a total of 20 years. I was honored by the League of Cities in November for having 20 years of service in government. So I've been doing this for 20 years now. Yeah.
So that's a long time, and starting at such a young age, that's incredible. I'm a business broker, as you know. I help people buy and sell businesses, and I've done several deals up in the Fort Pierce area. 1 or 2 downtown, a few over on towards the beach there on Seaway Drive, and so a lot of what I want to talk to you about today is, what's happening in Fort Pierce, and there's several different parts of Fort Pierce. So,
Yes.
Maybe we can take it one step at a time. But
Okay.
what I know is that I moved here in 1988, 1989, and I've never seen downtown Fort Pierce as exciting and as built up as it is today. So what do you think?
And you're right, Bobby. Fort Pierce has blossomed, I would say, in the past 10 to 15 years now. We have so much going on. Historically, back in the day, Fort Pierce was the center of the business district. And as far as the Okeechobee and Port St. Lucie, that didn't even exist then, Vero
Right.
Beach, it was the center. But for whatever reasons, it died away. But here within the past 10 to 15 years, you're starting to see it develop back into what it was years ago. And you're right, we're making major investments in Fort Pierce, in downtown area. And it's been somewhat of a struggle, but the businesses have been there with us. They stood behind us. They see the vision, and they're working very hard. And you visit Fort Pierce, the activity that you see downtown, especially in the night hours, it's like it hasn't been done in a long time. And we have the Sunrise Theater. We have so many different restaurants that are open. We have the courthouse. That's probably one of the biggest centers of attraction that are making sure that individuals come to the downtown area. And that's why we appreciate the courthouse so much, is because we know that people have to come to the courthouse. But in doing so, we hope that they can see something else that will add something in terms of recreation, being able to eat out in the downtown area. And with the combination of things that you must do, along with the things that are recreational, that you enjoy doing, we're trying to make it happen. And it's happening right now.
So when I go downtown Fort Pierce, I kind of see that it's hard pressed to find any open space. It seems like most of the space, I know my friend Gary, who owns the 2nd Street Bistro, he bought 2 or 3 buildings in a row and expanded that, is doing very well. And my friend Gus, who has made major investments,
Right.
All downtown Fort Pierce, west of US 1, put a lot of money. Is there still a lot of opportunity for growth?
Yes, it's still a lot of opportunity for growth. And to be honest with you, with COVID hitting us the way that it did economically, some of our businesses have kind of fell by the wayside, and then some have gone. So a misfortune sometimes can be a fortune for an opportunity. And right now, we have, and those guys that you just mentioned, they've made an investment. And the thing about these guys is that a lot of your developers, they come in and they buy property and they sit on it and they just turn it around. But these young men like Hans and Gus that you're talking about, they've been steadfast and immovable.
Yep.
And they are staying there, and they are trying to make the dream a reality, and they're just not turning their property around and sitting on it. They're investing in their property. And I appreciate those guys. So what you have is a lot of businesses, even Dunkin' Donuts now, that are coming in, a lot of mom and pop businesses and restaurants that are coming in. And we even have some that have been there from the beginning of time, Roslow's and stores of that nature. But things are happening in Fort Pierce, finally. And one of the greatest attractions, I believe, that has been a fortune for us is that waterfront property.
Absolutely.
There's nothing like Fort Pierce when it comes to waking up in the morning and looking over to the east, beyond the horizons, and seeing one of God's greatest gifts, and that is the sun to rise over the horizons, and you see it shining. It can just bring tears to your eyes if you can appreciate beauty like I do. So our waterfront and what we have are just a few of the things that I believe are helping us out in terms of developing our city. And we have a lot of the right people, I believe, motivating energy and inspiring and trying to make things happen.
Absolutely. So that's that's the downtown area, and then we go over to the beach, and the beach is always that beach in particular has a lot of locals that stay year round, and then you have your snowbirds. But what I'd like to talk more about is what's going on out west of town. We have out west has always been industrial, and I know there's some new home developments coming on. What's making that so attractive?
Well, historically, Bobby, that area that you're talking about was nothing but a bunch of groves. I don't know if you're aware of it or not, but probably before you came here, what put Fort Pierce on the map was the fruit industry, grapefruits,
The Vashons.
and oranges. And that area that you're talking about was pretty much all you had out there. But now I can sit here, as we sit here today, we have more homeowners permits being pulled in the history of the city.
Wow.
To develop homes in that area, Jenkins Road, Hartman Road. I created a name for it. I call it Fort Pierce West.
Nice.
Yeah. I like to brand myself with Port St. Lucie every now and then.
Well, if we can have St. Lucie West,
Right.
you can have Fort Pierce West.
That's my dream.
Nice.
I want to see a big sign one day saying Fort Pierce West. And I think we're headed in that direction because You have a Celebration Point, a known developer, one of the biggest in Florida, that have gone out there and they're building homes. And what I like about it are these are affordable homes that are made with class. And that's why you see the Chick-fil-A's, the Starbucks, the Wawa's within a mile radius of that area, is because those are companies that do market studies and they do not put their operations in places that are not growing. And what makes these types of businesses grow are rooftops. So obviously they see what we hope to have, and it's starting to happen out west of town.
Absolutely. I know, in my 30 years that I've been here, Fort Pierce has just continued to grow and grow and grow. And, sometimes it gets a bad hit because of a few small select areas. But for the most part, it's been on up and coming. Let me ask you a question. There's a couple of things that I've heard for the past couple of years that are going to happen. Big hotel downtown where the power plant used to be, or the water treatment plant used to be, and a big boat builder coming in, and a railway stop. Is any of that stuff still in motion?
Well, believe it or not, Bobby, what you just described is what's actually happening. And we do, in fact, have. And that's one of the best things going on right now in our city, is a partnership with the county and the Mega Yacht Company, where they have gone and made an investment in our port, along with some local businessmen, Mr. Mack and Mr. Sandy Woods, that have bought some of the surrounding warehouses around the port area. And as we sit here today, that port is being developed as one of the only ports in the state of Florida that was undeveloped. If you ride out there right now, they're waiting on one of the biggest cranes in the world to come in to be able to do the work of the mega yacht business. And COVID somewhat set it behind, but things are happening now on the port, which is one of my biggest dreams. When I came back home, I tried to stir up the interest of all of the governments to invest in the port. And, if there's one thing that I would give myself credit for, if I pat myself on the back, I just love to see that port being developed. That was my dream, because going around the world, I saw where so many cities had ports and they were doing good. And we had a port sitting there with nothing going on. Right. And when I came home, I said, we got to develop that port. Are you crazy? The fruit industry, the people out west of town will never let that happen. Right. Are you crazy? But I was determined. And the city has not been able to invest to the extent that I would like for us to, but we are still in control of the zoning and the permits and whatnot. So we will still have an interest in it and have some control over it. And hopefully we'll be able to later monetarily invest into it. But it's in our city limits and it's our port and it's happening. And I'm glad that it's happening. And it's going to be one of the biggest economic engines, not just in Fort Pierce, but in this whole entire region.
The Treasure Coast.
Absolutely. Yes.
So what I always tell people that most people don't know, I was taught this 30-some odd years ago at Indian River College, is that, the port is an international seaport.
Yes.
You can ship in and out internationally there. And then we have an international airport. The St. Lucie Airport is international.
Yes.
We have the railways, and we got I-95, we got the Florida Turnpike, we got the railways that come right through the middle of the town. So what better place is there for industry or to buy a business or to start a business than in Fort Pierce?
You're right. And as you mentioned earlier, we're one of the few ports to have a railroad as close to the waterway. So all of the infrastructure is in place to make this thing boom and jump out running. But we've just got to make the reinvestment and it'll go from there. Yeah. And with that airport out there, the county has put a lot of money into it. Land area wise, believe it or not, it's one of the biggest airports in South Florida but it's just not that much activity going
Right.
on. But we have all the right components, but we've just got to, and we're doing it. I can't say we've got to do it. We're doing it. And now it's coming together, and you're going to start to see, and you're starting to see great things happening.
So as we end our session today in 60 seconds or less, why do you believe people should come here and look to develop business or buy a business or start a business in the Fort Pierce area?
Well, sort of the same reason why I came back home to start fresh, because it's a land of opportunity. It's not like a Palm Beach or Miami or an Atlanta or Jacksonville where things are just booming and people
Right.
are making money. But if you get in at the ground root level and start where the opportunity is, there's just so much room for a business to grow. We have the cheapest land as far as price is concerned in the area of waterfront property.
Right.
A piece of waterfront property right now that's $500,000 in Fort Pierce would cost you close to $2 million in Miami or Palm Beach.
Absolutely.
And that's why we have what we call the opportunity zone. And a lot of your property, especially in district northwest area of Fort Pierce, which happens to be my district, has been classified as the opportunity zone because there's opportunity. You can buy it now and it will develop overnight, and it's starting to do that. And I say so often to my constituents out there, hold on to your property. Things are going to happen.
Yep.
Just don't sell it. You got so many, I guarantee you, if you go down in my district, in my area, they'll tell you they receive letters from realtors almost once a month. Now, keep in mind, most of these realtors are from down south, but they see the opportunity. And because of that, they're trying to buy up as much of the property as they can. But for people like me that can appreciate the historical value of what my parents worked for so hard,
Yeah.
I'm not going to just sell out like that. If anybody's going to profit from it, it's going to be the Sessions blood. You follow what I'm saying?
I do.
And not to say that that's the decision that everybody should make, but me personally, that's where I stand. So it's happening, even in Northwest Fort Pierce. Opportunity is there, and we're just looking forward to it. And I'm just proud to be a part of the process.
So, Reggie, we've been having some great discussion here, and I want to wrap up by asking you, you've been on the Fort Pierce Commission, one of 4 commissioners for a lot of years here. And, we've talked about how great Fort Pierce is going and going and gone. And what role has the commission played in all of that growth?
Well, Bobby, I can speak for myself personally, and I hope that my colleagues are doing the same thing. But what I have tried to do as city commissioner of the city of Fort Pierce, when there were companies like Wawa, Starbucks, Chick-fil-A's, for example, Amazon, when I saw that they were interested, I started burning their phones off the hook. I made a point of getting a relationship with the decision makers to let them know that I'm here in the city and I want to do all that I can to get your business. Most of those businesses like Wawa and Chick-fil-A, I had those guys on speed dial, and I put myself out there.
Nice.
If you needed me, call me. Because if there's anything that I can do in my capacity as city commissioner to get your business in Fort Pierce, then I need to know. And I would stay on staff. Please don't give these individuals, these people, any problems. They are looking to do business with us, and you work for them. So you treat them with class. And if I hear any problems that they're having with you, then I'm not in a position to fire or hire, but I have a city manager that's in charge. And if he can't get the job done, then eventually He needs to go. So my point being this, giving those businesses that personal touch, which a lot of them express to me, we don't get this from
the
most
relationship.
cities. Right. We go places and we don't get that kind of relationship with a lot of your city officials. So I take pride in doing that. I stay on top of these developers. I want to know what's going on. I want to know if it's something that I can do to help them. Make sure that they come here when they come before the city and ask to have a certain conditional uses approved. I try to develop a relationship. Are you happy? Are you satisfied with the services that you receive? Is there anything that we can do? This staff treats you okay? So I think that pays off. I think that has a lot to do with it in terms of, at least I've been told anyway, that a lot of businesses don't get that type of treatment. But I was so happy to see Amazon come in. And I thought one time we were going to lose Amazon. And right now, when you look at the number of trucks in Fort Pierce and in St. Lucie County,
unbelievable,
where they have gone in, you can go over to the parking lot of one of their parking lots in Fort Pierce right now.
Don't they use the old Orange Blossom Mall as one of their main hubs?
You took the words right out of my mouth. No longer doing business as a mall, but when you ride through there at night, like I do, it brings tears to my eyes just to know that many people are employed. And I see these young people riding around all day in these trucks that were unemployed before, that didn't have a future, but now they're making good money. So, that's what it takes. It just takes giving businesses a personal touch with a staff that has a vision as your politician and just being on top of it and making it work.
Good stuff, Reggie. And, if my audience doesn't know, when you got Wawa and you got Chick-fil-A and you got Starbucks and you got Amazon coming into a location, there's things happening. Well, Reggie, I can't thank you enough for coming on the show today, Business on the Treasure Coast. It's been a pleasure. Fort Pierce is a special place to me. I've always loved it up there. I know you are on a ticket this coming election, and we wish you well.
Thank you.
We hope that you do well, and we hope that everybody casts a vote for you. So again, folks, if you need to get a hold of me, if you're looking to buy or sell a business, anywhere on the Treasure Coast for that matter, Palm Beach, Broward, St. Lucie, Martin, Indian River counties, get a hold of me, Bob Leone, 772-621-0528. And that's it for today. Reggie, thanks for being on.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it. Thanks again.